Well, this morning I want to speak to you about people who have been rejected in life and yet ended up excelling. And I want to count yourself as one of those people because some of you may be going through some kind of rejection and you're thinking and you're asking yourself, I think my life is ended. I think I cannot go on anymore. I think the world is not meant to accommodate me. Listen, my friend, I want to give you some examples of some people who today the world celebrates in spite of the fact that they have been rejected. All you need to do is to find your niche. And when you find your niche, you will be ready to zoom at a supersonic speed and no one can stop you. Listen, nothing can stop a person whose timing has come. Nothing can stop an idea whose timing has come. And many of you celebrate these people without knowing what they've actually gone through. And I want to tell you that you have the potential inside with you, and all you need is someone to ignite that potential. And I want to be that person to ignite the potential in you, to light that fire in you. And many of you may be giants without actually knowing. You cannot declare the tigritude of a tigress until her powers, especially if you know her powers. You cannot declare the tigritude of a tigress if her powers are known. Some of you are silent giants within you, and all you need to do is to light up that fire, to wake up and say, I'm going to make it. I'm not going to sit down on this potential that God has given to me. You are uniquely made. Listen, you are beautifully and wonderfully made. That is what the Holy Scriptures say. And all you need to know is to discover the potential that God has put in you. You may have been rejected, you may have been thrown out in different places, but listen, my friend, just compose yourself and listen and begin to move in that direction. It doesn't matter how many times you're going to try it, but this is a secret of how you're going to overcome. Let me give you some examples of people by looking at them here. We have a guy called Ben Heavy. Ben Heavy is a guy actually who many times was rejected from Harvard 10 times. Listen, 10 times. Even after college, he was rejected by all 30 jobs he applied for. He even applied for KFC, to work at KFC. And out of a pool of about 24 people applying for 23 jobs, he was the only one who actually got rejected. And then he actually, later started investing in Silicon Valley. Many of you know what Silicon Valley is. And funded himself with petty monies, but later ended up becoming a guy who actually was worth over $28 billion and is one of the most celebrated people that we have today. Jack Ma is another guy who actually also did the same thing, and he was also rejected quite a number of times, and he also was able to make it in spite of the challenges that he went through. Another guy we need to know is a lady called J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling spent about 6 years working on her first book as an employed single mother who was actually living on government benefits. And her own publisher even rejected her dream, saying that it was impossible for her to support herself from even writing and support her children. So 12 publishers turned her down, and she was later accepted in Bloomsbury, and now she's worth over $1 million. And that's something you need to understand. I'm going to tell you another person called Steve Jobs. Who doesn't know about Steve Jobs? He dropped out of college after one semester. Think about that. And he quit one of his first jobs to start, some kind of drug making company. But later he turned out as a CEO, and he became one of the most favorite or famous entrepreneurs that we have today. And even at the age even at a young age, he was able to find his niche, and today he's celebrated as one of the greatest inventors of all time. Steve Jobs, by the time he died, he said, "I've invented things that the world is not even ready to accommodate," because he actually thought ahead of life. I'm going to tell you another person, another friend of mine called Michael Jordan. I used to play basketball when I was in secondary school, and I was actually voted one of the best basketballers during my secondary time in school. And so I love this guy, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan in 1978, at about 15 years of age, he was about 5 feet and 10, and yet he wanted to be a professional basketballer. And he wasn't cut off from his high school basketball team because of lack of skill. Think about that, lack of skill. And this man went on to make the 14 All-Star basket game appearances to win about 6 NBA championships. So you must remember that even when you're rejected, and by even the very profession that you're in, it doesn't mean that that's the end of your faith. I'm going to tell you another person, another guy who actually made it is Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan, at the age of 8, he became an extra in what they call a Chinese movie. And then at 17, he was told that he was useless and should give up. And after having succeeded in being what they call Bruce Lee's stunts, remember the guy called Bruce Lee? We used to love those things when we were still young. My colleague Mahiri, Dr. Mahiri, remember, we used to call him Commando because of the kind of things that we used to do, that kind of kung fu. So this guy, Jackie Chan, went on to excel in Hollywood in making these movies, and I think he's probably eminently the one who succeeded Bruce Lee in bringing us those kind of kicks and back somersaults and stuff like that. Who doesn't know Jackie Chan? But remember, all this started as failures and rejects. Remember? And there's another guy who is called Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln had quite a number of failures. In 1832, he was defeated for state. In 1838, he was defeated to be the House Speaker. In 1843, he was defeated for the nomination of Congress. In 1846, he lost a re-election to Congress. In 1856, he was defeated for the U.S. Senate. In 1858, defeated for the nomination of Vice President. In 1858, he was defeated for U.S. Senate. Think about that. And in 1860, he became the President of the United States. So in spite of the so many failures, this guy later went on to become the President of the U.S. Today we remember Abraham Lincoln as one of the great statesmen of America. I'm going to tell you another guy that you know is probably Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley is probably one of the most celebrated musicians of all time. He wanted to become a singer from a young age of about, yet in 1954 he was still driving a truck. And after his first appearances, he was told by Jimmy Denny, the manager of Grand Ole Opry, that you ain't going anywhere, son, meaning you are useless and you cannot do anything. You can't even drive. Today, he's known as the king of rock and roll. So remember that. I'm going to tell you another guy who is called Walt Disney. Walt Disney, who doesn't know Walt Disney? In 1919, his editor told him that he lacked what they call imagination and he had no good ideas. Then he received about 300 rejections from bankers because his animation ideas seemed crazy. His quote, here is a quote that he said. He said, all the adversity I have had in my life and all my troubles and obstacles have strengthened me. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth may be the best thing in the world for you. So remember that, my friend, that even if people kick you and drop you out and reject you, they're just giving you the impetus to begin to fight another battle. So be embraced and be encouraged, my friend. And that's just to inspire you. Another friend of yours called Oprah Winfrey. Remember Oprah Winfrey? She was born in 1954. She had to overcome much of a hardship and even rejection in her early life for being what they call a black woman. Remember, for a long time, blacks in America, under Article 2, Sabbatical 2, they were in the Constitution, they were considered to be 3/4 of a human being. They were a thing to be used for life. So imagine these guys in 1954, they were struggling with civil rights versus liberties in terms of human rights. And yet these guys, even women were not even required to vote, you know. So yet finally she became a co-anchor on what they call a Baltimore WJTV and got fired from her job. And she went on to set up her own show. She's now a self-made billionaire, African-American billionaire, and today probably one of the most successful women in terms of financial excellency. I'm going to tell you another person. This is called Harrison Ford. Many of you know Harrison Ford. That movie called, what was that movie? The movie called, oh my goodness, I forget the movie, but it was one of the good, beautiful movie about the what? Air Force One. Remember Air Force One? He's one of the guys who starred in Air Force One. And after having 2 lines in his first film, he was told by the head of the new talent that you are not going to make it in this business. Just forget about it. Despite this man acted over 50 movies and he's as famous as the world itself. So remember that, my friend. So I want you to encourage yourself that even though things may not be working out for you today, you don't have to reject yourself. Listen, you are a time bomb in within yourself. You have got this seed of destiny that is hidden within yourself. You have got these dreams that are hidden in you. All you need to do is tap on this potential and begin to explore. You listen, some of you may be there, but you're silent superpowers within yourselves. And all you need is someone to encourage you and say, my brother, tap on me, and I'll begin exercising. I don't mind how many times you have failed. All you need to do is to rejuvenate, encourage yourself, believe in yourself, look at focus, and don't give up. Stay humble, stay hungry. Listen, you cannot declare the tigritude of a tigress until if you know her powers. Okay, so some of you are silent powers that within you, and I have hope, I have no doubt in my heart that God has put that potential in you, and you are uniquely made. You have that unique ability in you that is going to cause you to excel. So my brother, my sister, encourage yourself and embrace yourself to have a rendezvous with destiny. Destiny is waiting for you. You are created uniquely. The word of God says you are beautifully and wonderfully made. You are not a photocopy. Nobody can do what God has destined you to do. You are the only unique person that God has given that potential, and the world is waiting for you. Die empty, like my friend Dr. Miles Monroe used to say, and even like my friend Dr. Martin Luther used to say, do your job so well that the dead, the living, and the unborn cannot do it any better. I'll keep reminding you of what my friend Ralph Waldo Emerson said. If a man can build a better house or make a better balustrade than his neighbor, even if they build their house in the woods, the world will make a beaten path to his door. My friend, watch out, world. We're here to stay. We're going to rock the world. We're going to change the world. And remember, I think it was Archimedes who said, give me the right prop and the right lever, and I'll single-handedly turn the world. Even your friend, my friend who, he said something that he said that most men see things, he said, most men see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that are not and ask why not. Keep asking those questions, my friend. Keep dreaming and never, never, never give up. The world belongs to you, and we're going to support you to conquer the world. Be blessed, my friend.